Hello, friends. Hope everyone is doing good. So, welcome back to the knowledge series, and today we are back with uh, paper 17 of Group 4 CMA final paper. So, here today we are going to cover basics, or like it is like an introduction to the subject, uh, and also we'll kick start with the study note number 1. So not to waste much of time, today we are going to, I'll just first take you through what we are going to see. Is we are going to see the paper subject content, what it contains, and then we will move on to the topics. We will start with some definitions, and then we will cover objectives of cost audit, features of cost audit, and then history of cost audit, and followed by history of ICAI. So all these topics we are going to cover on in this session, and then apart from that, if there is anything which is left over when compared with your study material, will be covered in the separate session for sure. So 90% your study material should get covered in this lecture itself, but if in case anything, I will just check that and I will also make a separate video. So friends, we'll start with the topic which is going to be covered is paper 17. Paper 17 of your CMA final. It is purely for CMA final. It is a first paper of your group 4. It is a first paper 17. Okay, cost and management audit. In short, we say CMAD. Okay, so CMAD paper is divided into two sections. One is section A, cost audit, and section B, management audit. There is a sections. Section A 60 marks, which is cost audit, and section B, which is 40 marks. Okay, it contains 40 marks. So in section A, which is cost audit, you are going to see these 5 topics majorly. These 5 topics will cover the most of your marks, which is of 60 marks. Okay, so topics are general topics, cost accounting standards, which is CAS, cost accounting standards, as it is 1 to 24 cost accounting standards which we need to cover. Then generally accepted cost accounting principles, GAAP, generally accepted cost accounting principles. Then standards on cost auditing, SCA, which is 101 to 104. 101 to 104. 4 cost auditing standards are there. Okay, then cost rules. Okay, so these are the topics which we are going to cover in section A for 60 marks. Okay, same way for balance 40 marks, section B, which is management audit. You are going to see 4 important topics, which is management audit basics, management audit functions, management audit in different sectors, and internal control system, which is ICS. So these are the 4 major topics for 40 marks. So to start with basics, general topics, which is in cost audit section A, first general topics, we are going to see 3 important definitions. Okay, 3 important definitions. So definition of cost. Cost is a measurement in a monetary terms. Monetary means money. Monetary terms means in money. So cost is a measurement in money. Of what? Of the amount of resources used. Resources refers to material, human, labor, etc. Of amount of resources used in what? Manufacturing of a product or providing of a services. So a cost is a measurement in money of amount of resources used in manufacturing of a product or providing of services. The source of the definition is from CAS 1, that is classification of cost. Classification of cost. See, there is a major difference. There is a major difference in finance and cost term. It is not the same. There is a difference. What is the major differences? Money measurement at a company level is finance, but cost is at a product or service level. Cost is at a product or service level. Finance is at a company level. So finance is a macro level, cost is a micro level. So finance is a macro, so cost is included in finance. Okay, finance is inclusive of cost, we can say. Okay, so finance is a broader term, macro level. Cost is a micro level. Okay, there is a difference in what difference between finance and cost. Then next definition is definition of audit. So audit is a independent examination of the financial or other information of an entity, company. So it is an independent examination of the financial information or other information of an entity, whether that entity is a profit oriented or not. Whether it is a profit oriented or not, irrespective of its size, form, whether it's a large company, small company, or public limited company, listed company, private company, whatever it is. So audit is an independent examination of a company. When such examination is conducted, it is a view to express an opinion thereon. Thereon means on the financial information, other information of an entity. Audit is done to give an opinion on the financial or other information. And the source of this definition is from where? It is from SCA 101, Standards on Cost Auditing 101, that is planning an audit of cost statement. So source of audit definition is from SCA 101, planning an audit of cost statement. We'll move to next definition, which is a definition of cost audit. So definition of cost audit and definition of audit, there is a only small change. We start here audit. Under cost audit, we will start as cost audit. Other terms remain same. Here we use financial. Audit is an independent examination of financial information. Here cost audit is an independent examination of cost information of an entity. Cost information. So that's the difference which is highlighted in red color. So it is that's the change between audit and cost audit. Other remains the same. Source also remains the same. Source of definition is also from SCA 101, planning an audit of cost statement. What is the objective or social objective of cost object? So question may be asked in either way. Objectives of cost audit or social objective of cost audit. Okay, so there are 5 objectives to be remembered for exam point of view. Price fixation, fixing government subsidies, performance evaluation, optimum utilization of resources, elimination of wastages. So these are the 5 objectives of cost audit. Price fixation, fixing government subsidies, performance evaluation, optimum utilization of resources, that is maximum utilization of resources, elimination of wastages, avoidance of wastages, elimination of wastages. So these are the 5 objectives of the cost audit which you need to remember. Okay, then features. What are the features of cost audit? Or it can be asked as salient features of cost audit. Either way, it can be tested. Features or salient features of the cost audit. So there are 5 points which has to be covered. All the 5 points starts with to ensure that, to ensure that, to ensure that, to ensure that. All 5 points will start from that only. First point, to ensure that a proper cost record under section 148 of the Companies Act 2013 is maintained within the company. So cost audit is to ensure that a proper cost record is maintained under 148 section of Companies Act 2013. Okay, proper cost records are maintained. The maintained cost records meets the requirement under the Companies Act 2013. So both are interlinked. First point says cost audit to ensure that the proper cost records under section 148 is maintained within the company, and the maintained cost records meets the requirement under the Companies Act 2013. Then to ensure that an internal audit system for cost records is followed within the company. So to ensure that an internal audit system for cost record is followed within the company. Fourth one, to ensure that the maintained cost records, the cost audit report, annexure, cost schedule, statement, and cost information provides a true and fair view of the cost of production, operation, products, service, or activity. So the maintained cost records, cost audit report annexure, cost schedule statements, and other information provides true and fair view of cost of production, operation, products, service, or activity. This has to be ensured. Last is the unit cost and total cost statement for each product, service, or activity is maintained within the company. Both unit cost and the total cost statement for each product, each service, each activity is maintained within the company. To arrive what? Quantity in units multiplied by cost per unit gives the total cost that is maintained in a standard format, unit basis, on unit basis. Okay. So these are the 5 features or salient features of cost audit. The next is history of cost audit. It may be asked as evaluation of cost audit, evaluation of cost audit, or genesis of cost audit. So either way question can be asked. History, evaluation, genesis of cost audit. So you have to remember few years. How it started is 1965. The cost audit was first introduced in India. One more question. In dash year, cost audit was first introduced in India. So you should remember 1965 was the first year when the cost audit was introduced in India, with the inclusion of section 233B of Companies Act 1956, with the inclusion of section 233B of cost audit, okay, and section 209 1D for maintenance of cost records. So cost audit was first introduced in India was 1965, with the inclusion of section 233B of the Companies Act 1956 for cost audit, and section 2091, that is subsection 1 clause D, for maintenance of cost records. Then in 1965 to 2008, some 44 industries were covered under the cost records maintenance, and cost audit was on the company specific basis. So in 1965 to 2008, only 44 industries were covered for cost record maintenance, and cost audit was on company specific basis. Then 2008, the expert group set up to study the existing cost audit mechanism. So in 2008, there was a setup of expert group to study the cost audit mechanism. And in 2009, the expert group submitted its report to the Government of India. So in 2009, it submitted its report to the Government of India. And in 2011, the new cost rules issued under the Companies Act 1956. And in 2014, amended new cost rules is issued under Companies Act 2013. So this was the history till date, 1965 to 2008, 2008, 2009, 2011 and 2014. So these was the years during which there were some changes happening in cost audit. So majorly you should remember 1965, you should remember 2011 and 2014. And when the expert group submitted its report to Government of India was 2009. This is also important. Okay. Then last topic, history of your institute, our institute, Institute of Cost Accountants of India. 3 major years to be remembered: 1944, 1959, 2012. 1944, ICWA, old name was Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of not of India. It was just registered as a limited company. It was not known by the public. It was just a company type. It was a limited company. So in 1944, it was a limited company with name ICWA. Then in 1959, ICWAI, here there is no I, here I, was set up under Cost and Works Accountants Act 1959 and passed by the Parliament of India. So it was set up, ICWAI was set up. Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India was set up under Cost and Works Accountants Act 1959, which was passed by the Parliament. Later in 2012, the ICWAI name got changed to ICAI, which is Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So this was the history of ICAI, 1944, 59 and 2012 to be remembered. So these are the questions can be tested in your study note number 1. Hope you are clear with this. Any doubts, anything, you can comment on this video so that I can reply back. If you need notes, you can comment your Gmail ID. I can send it to you through your email. Thank you.